Today is, I think today is Thursday, I think. I haven't seen a calendar. I've always tried to make these videos nice and upbeat. I'm having a bad moment right now. Now you can't tell too much because they do get a lot worse. I have some movement. You can see I have some movement. When I freeze up when my medicine is not working, generally I have no movement. I am sitting. My hands are cramped. My toes on one side are under and up on another. It's like, I heard somebody else describe it much better than me. I would always just say it was like you had rigor mortis in your bones and they were cracking. But they said it was more like concrete, just doesn't, and very, very painful. But I don't take painkillers, other than just a Tylenol or something. I don't take a painkiller. It's available to me, but I don't want to get started on things like that. So I don't think it's fair to always show when it's a good time, because when it's a good time, I do make the very most of it. But when it's a bad time, I have to just wait it out. It's, what time is it right now? It's very late. It's 4:55 in the morning. I've been up for 3 hours. So I'm not getting very much sleep because I can't get back in the bed once my body is frozen up. And there's more and more of those times. But like I said, you make the very best of your good times because the bad times will be there. The other thing that happens to me, I really look terrible here. I'm so sorry, people. The other thing that happens to me is my brain gets quite confused. I wouldn't want to make any important decisions. I was trying to work on my calendar here a few minutes ago. This will show you what happens with your brain not working. I needed to mark down on my calendar. I had to mark on my calendar where I needed to put in my patch on my body, because I put it on once a day. And my writing has made my calendar look just terrible, because if I don't try to make the words big enough to read, we can't read them, because if you just write naturally, I'm going to write something and I'll show you what happens. People that know me know my writing has always gotten very small. I used to have lovely penmanship too. But, okay. So, and I have to really be careful because I will drop everything. So I'm going to write my name. And if I concentrate hard, I'll write it big, okay? So I'm going to make it, it's not very neat. You have to make my brain really work here. Okay. Now, you see, that's nice and big. It's messy, but you can read it. Now, if I don't concentrate, if I just, I'm going to write my signature, okay? Okay. So you can't hardly read that. And by the time I would write a whole letter, it would just sort of be a line running near the bottom. Nobody would be able to understand that, right? So when you have your times where your body is off or stopped, you can't do anything. Your brain doesn't let you, like, I can't watch a film, I can't concentrate on it. I lose track of where my videos are. And you see, I'm still wiggling, which is comfort to me, because when I'm not wiggling, everything hurts really bad. So to me, it's not that the stopping of that. When I'm sitting very still, if somebody is in the room with me, they're more comfortable because they're sitting talking to somebody who looks normal. Whereas when I'm jumping all over the place, I don't look normal, and it makes some people uncomfortable. I laugh because my husband will often, we know each other so well, he will often almost forget that there's a reason that I wiggle. And he'll sit there and he'll say to me, for God's sakes, just sit quiet on your chair. He says, we're trying to concentrate here. And it's like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm trying. But then he realizes what he has said, right? And he feels bad that he then said that, but that's the way it is. But if I was sitting here dead stopped, I can't do anything. So I have to find ways to adapt and get over it, because it's long hours that you're doing that. If everything works the way it's supposed to, every 3 hours of the day, I have an hour and a half of good time and an hour and a half of bad time in every 3 hours. So I literally, every hour and a half, I'm cycling good, bad, good, bad. You can't plan anything. Like if you want to go shopping, you're going to have some of your time out is going to be bad time. And the last time I went out with my daughter, my bad time hit after I had got back into the car. And we had an awful time getting me out of the car because my body didn't want to move. And how do we get me, a big person like me, out of a car and into the seat? It was difficult. But we managed to do it. So you can't plan. And the other thing is, the 3 o'clock medicine in the afternoon usually works, but the 6 o'clock supper medicine often does not. And I think it's because by the time that time of the day comes, I'm tired. Any activity that I do, activity helps. You have to have activity. They say the more exercise you can do, the better. I'm not an exercise person, but believe me, if it makes me feel better, I'll be doing it. But I often tease my husband, let's go dancing. Let's dance in the living room. Nobody needs to see us. Let's just dance. He said no. I said, let's do the hokey pokey. No. Let's do the Macarena. No. I said, when we met dancing, you know. And he says, I know, I don't dance now. True enough, he falls very easily. Dancing would not be good for him, but it would be good for me. But anyway, so I use my A-Linker bike, and I go every day with my A-Linker bike, or most days, and it helps. So then if I'm frozen up, I try really desperately to get up out of this chair, and I stamp my feet. I said I'd hate to live below me, but I stamp my feet on the ground just to feel them. Like I have neuropathy that goes almost to my knees, so therefore I can't even tell when my feet are actually on the ground. So if I want to step up, I always have to either look down and make sure my feet are on the ground, or have somebody say to me, yes, you're standing on the ground. Same with my hands. I can't hold things. That's why this is around my neck, because my hands just drop everything. They just don't hold on to them. And some of that's probably diabetes related. Some of that is probably Parkinson's, but whatever, it's all me. Whether it doesn't matter for what reason, it's all me. So it isn't fair for me to just say it's always fun and games, or let's, always be cheerful. I'm not always cheerful. I do try very hard. When I'm having a good time, I'm never into a bad mood. When I'm having a good time, I'm making advances with myself to enjoy that. But the minute, and it's on a dime, like it changes on a dime. I can be sitting here, I get kind of a little electrical tingle that goes through me, and all of a sudden I'll say, oh no, it's happening. And that's exactly how I feel. It's like, oh no, here we go. And then within 2 minutes, I'm froze up solid and can't do anything. So the first thing I do when I hear that tingle or feel that tingle is I try to get up to the bathrooms, because if I can make it to the bathroom then, it's a lot easier than later. And then I come back and I try to sit in my chair where I can sit in my chair comfortable all the time. When my body is frozen up, you are not comfortable, but you have an hour and a half minimum that you have to get through. You have to find a way. If you can move, you can maybe encourage it. So I try, like I'll sit there and I'll say, listen, if I encourage this, if I stamp my feet, or I'll try to go to the kitchen to make a cup of coffee or something like that, slow as I am, I can try to get there. But I cannot carry the coffee back here. Like I couldn't carry the coffee back. So Bill would have to go and get that coffee and bring it back. So if I'm home by myself, not very often, but if I'm home by myself, I think about it. I think, do I really want that coffee, or do I want to just go try to walk to the kitchen and back? Because if I really want that coffee, it's going to torture me to not be able to carry it back. And I do like my coffee. But anyway, I'm trying to think what else I can tell you about bad time, but I want to stress, bad time only happens for the hour and a half in between, or when the medicine stops. And you can get through just about anything. Now, I have always been a positive person, but I was having some mental problems with, not depression per se, they say depression, but not overly like depression, but just frustration, I think, more than anything. I would be very frustrated. Well, when you get that frustrated, you can do nothing but sit and cry. And if you're sitting crying and your husband is looking at you like, what is wrong with you? You feel really bad. And so my daughter, bless her heart, she went and she said, Mom, you know, when you go to the Parkinson's clinic, the motion clinic, the mobility clinic, I think it's called, when you go there, they even have a psychiatrist that's on staff, because this is a common thing for Parkinson's patients. And I said, well, we need to do something. I can't live like this, you know, like I can't be depressed. I can't be crying like for no reason. And so she called to make an appointment. I still haven't had that appointment to talk to anybody. It's been waiting for a while. But in the meantime, they said to me, you go to your family doctor and you get a tablet from him. And he put me on a small tablet that will help me cope on the bad times. And then he gave me the other tablet that I only take now and then, very, very seldom, but it's an Ativan, and it calms me down. So if I'm having a time where I am crying uncontrollably and making everybody around me uncomfortable, I will phone my daughter and say, can I take one of those little tablets, right? She always says, yes, you take one of those. Now, they'll last me forever because, you know, I don't take them very often. But I do have them there that I can take if I need them. And unfortunately, I do need them. So I don't want to pretend everything's always wonderful. But in the long run, I got up on the right side of the grass today. It's going to be a good day, at least half of it. And if I'm really lucky, I'll even get a little nap in the afternoon. That's always special. Now, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow, if I'm having a good time, when I have a good time, I'm going to try to make something in the kitchen. I'm going to show you what it's like to have to, I don't know if it'll be a meal. It may be just a baked good. Haven't decided. But I'm going to make something in the kitchen and show you all the adaptations that we've had to make so that I can still enjoy an activity that I really enjoy. I love eating, but man, I like food. I like shopping for it. I like cooking it. I like making menus. I like saving money when I'm doing it. I enjoy it. And if I can get that little bit of pleasure tomorrow, I'm going to look forward to that. So why don't you make yourselves a little loaf of something, get yourself a cup of coffee, and come back here tomorrow, and we'll get it on. All right, bye.